countries Hey guys, I am here, just finishing something up real quick and shall be live. Got some Deadpool news for you guys. I thought that was pretty entertaining. Hang in, be right with you. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Hope all is well in your world. Whichever one that is. I know the video is not up yet, but my audio is on. I'm just kind of preparing. So, Sniper, hey, did you hear, dude? I'm going to show it in just a minute, but have you heard of the new trailer that was popped yesterday for something in Phase 5. Have you heard this yet? I think you'll get a kick out of this. I think you'll get a kick out of this. So hey everybody, I am here. Oh man, there's so much news going on with Marvel and the world out there, but there was a specific one that I found extraordinarily funny. And as a treat to you guys, I'm actually going to play it on stream here. I think I could do it without that issue, so I may have to pause here and there. But what it is the reason that you now see up in my little picture up there, the gold pool, because Ryan Reynolds dropped Deadpool 3 trailer yesterday. Yes, Ryan Reynolds dropped a Deadpool 3 trailer yesterday, which is crazy. It is insane. So, I'd like to get into this. I'd like to show it to you. I think you'll enjoy it. So, here we go. We're gonna play it a little bit. We're not even gonna pause.
Whew. Gotta stop eating kebabs before nap time.
Fake laugh, hiding real pain.
Yes, I did. I am so sorry. I can never say no to the seafood platter at a gas station.
Go. Well, you're gonna need to power wash that.
Where's little Gus?
Deadpool.
Honey!
It's just you and me now. Don't skimp on the powder. Let's just get that whole undercarriage. Finish strong, Trevor.
Deadpool, not Titanic. All right, you're at like.
Alright, so we gotta pause for a minute, but it's a good start so far. It's a good start. Yeah, this is what something I've expected. This is the Deadpool 3 trailer that was just dropped. Like, we're breaking the news. Ryan Reynolds just dropped this. I found it right before the stream. I'm like, oh, we gotta play this. So we're playing the Deadpool 3 trailer from Ryan Reynolds. I have to kind of pause in between, otherwise I'll get like copyrighted or whatever. So I'm doing what I have to avoid that. But here's the next. I'll go ahead and unpause on that.
An 11. We need to get you down to a 5, 5.5 tops. Just phone it in.
Listen, this thing only goes to 11. So beat it, Spider-Man.
He did not give a release date yet, but we'll go over that stuff.
Ow!
Why am I here? Oh, right. Quicksilver. He's a fan of Canadian supergroup rock. I just... No, bro! I thought I was getting swarmed by fucking diddly Australian bees.
I'd pause it again. But, so far so good. This is one of a couple, by the way. So this is not the only one that's out there. He released a couple things. This is just the latest one that I have found.
Watch this video and try not to think of me while it's on. Seriously. Deadpool here with an important public service announcement. When Quicksilver discloses to Mystique that...
You see that giant chimichanga sitting in front of him? That was hilarious.
What? Come on! Seriously? Why is this stuck? Try here. Come on! Oh, I really didn't want to get my suit dirty already. Oh, I just had it pressed.
Sorry, man. Did you miss some? I actually had a pause for quite a while in there. Like every now and then I have to get a pause. I think after this I can play it out. There's only like 20 seconds left or so. So enjoy the rest. There you go. That was this particular trailer. And there is another out there. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I think this guy did it best.
Things,
Hang on.
even though we all kind of hopefully expected that.
So this is from another guy. He did a video on the original that Ryan Reynolds released Sunday. I think he dropped it Sunday. But we'll go back and we'll see some. So I'm gonna have to pause this like every 20 seconds or so, just so you know. So bear with it. We'll pause it, discuss for a moment, and then we'll continue on. This is a kind of a long one, so it kind of goes into in-depth. He's breaking it down and stuff like that. So, but here we go. Not soon enough.
I know, right?
Hi everybody, it's Charlie. Surprise, surprise, Ryan Reynolds just dropped a Deadpool 3 teaser for Marvel Phase.
So for all intents and purposes, this is Emergency Awesome is who this is I'm looking at. Channel, so I want to give him absolute credit for all of this. This is all his doing. I'm just showing you guys what I have found on his channel. I actually heard, like, this was the first notification I got as I heard about this. And then I went and watched it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But then the one I just showed you right before this, I found that myself right before we got on. So, and that one's different than this. This is different. What they're gonna tease you in here is, I think you'll see, he does some Phase 5 teasing. And pay close attention to the billboard when it comes up.
So I'll explain what's going on. It was probably one of the
Again,
most
this guy's
surprising
really
things,
good.
even
I
though we
like
all
it.
kind of hopefully expected that there would be another Deadpool movie. So time to freak out, we'll break it all down, and because this is such a huge surprise in a good way, I'll give away an extra copy of the Avengers Endgame Blu-ray. So as long as you're a subscriber on my channel, all you have to do to enter is just leave your best Deadpool MCU theory on the video. Test footage leaked in the middle of Comic-Con 2014. That's how long it's been. It's been half a decade since we saw that test footage. It still holds up today. It's actually still really good for what it was.
Yes. Oh, hello there. I bet you're wondering why the red suit.
Within that conspiracy,
There we go. You can see this is the board I'm talking about. What this board is trying to represent is him trying to figure out who leaked the test footage 5 years ago. As we all know, it was actually him that leaked the footage 5 years ago. But there's some good references you'll see. The top left corner you see Betty White, because he always has to have Betty White in his stuff. Rob Liefeld, or Wade Wilson, obviously from X-Men Origins. Below that is Rob Liefeld, and he's the guy that directed Deadpool 1 movie. Hugh Jackman, of course, because you have to have Hugh Jackman with this. Blake Lively, so she's Ryan Reynolds' wife in real life. Tim Miller and not sure who the other, Paul Wernick? I think they had something to do. Oh no, that's from so Turk 182. Turk 182. That was a movie from the 80s. Reference about a group a guy who did some pseudo-political. Yeah. He did the political stuff, right? In the movie Turk 182, he was Turk 182. It was about a firefighter, and it was the whole bureaucratic side, and he was trying to expose it, and he did expose it. And everybody, he was claimed to be the bad guy, but he ended up being actually like the hero, the good guy, because he exposed everything. Yeah, that's what that was. As I recall, it was been, man. I watched it a long, long time ago. Yeah, so he went on a rampage to expose it, right? Isn't that what he did, Rogue? I also think it's funny if you look down in the middle, you get Taika Waititi in there. So I'm wondering if he's trying to say, hey, Taika Waititi, why don't you come do this movie? Who am I? I'm covering something. I don't know what it is. You guys can read it better than I can from back here. Cheap Nightingale. So he's gonna go through and explain all this. I didn't want to run his whole video because it's like 10 minutes long. But I did want to show you guys the board, and this was all part of that trailer breakdown. We'll watch a little bit more. I don't know what that is. A hand painting for something. It's going to that report, which is got a redacted line in it. I don't know. Let's see what he says.
Post that he made, though, he references a lot of MCU people and also says investigations heading into year
this is where
5, or as I call it, quote unquote, phase 5. The point is, I love a conspiracy yarn, hashtag leakiversary. So there's a whole lot of meta going on in this post here, but clearly he's trying to say that Deadpool 3 will be in the MCU and it will happen during Marvel Phase 5. There's some more evidence from the Marvel Phase 4 Comic-Con panel this past weekend that supports this. I'll play that clip in a second. But if you actually look at the picture here, he didn't...
So we're going to pause for a minute because I don't get the copyright strike against me or whatever, but yeah, we just have to basically give it a little time, talk about whatever. Like, I think it's funny his wife. So his wife and him do Twitter wars all the time. Like he said, happy anniversary to my amazing wife, something like that, and she tweeted back a picture of somebody else and says, who, this guy? It was hilarious. Anyway,
upload a super high quality version so you can't read the really small text, but you can read the really big stuff, is a mock investigation of people who could have leaked the original Deadpool test footage. This is where a lot of the Easter eggs are. So he's got Betty White on here because Deadpool in the comics is a huge Betty White stan. He loves all the Golden Girls, but he also named both of his katanas Bea and Arthur. A couple of years ago, she also did that funny promo for the first Deadpool movie when it came out in theaters.
Once in a generation, a movie comes along that your whole family will love. If your family is a up group of kissing inbreds.
He's got Deadpool from Wolverine Origins because he can't resist any attempt to make fun of himself in that movie. Rob Liefeld because he's the creator of Deadpool. Hugh Jackman, because of course you can't make a Deadpool conspiracy post without invoking Hugh Jackman at some point.
Right.
Blake Lively is on here because she's Ryan Reynolds' wife in real life, and they make fun of each other on social media, especially when he's on press tours for the Deadpool movies. Although I think some of their posts from the first Deadpool movie are a little bit funnier. Tim Miller's on here because he was the director of that first Deadpool movie, but he Deadpool movies, and they were the writers that were hired years ago for the Deadpool movie that Fox did not.
Okay, so we're gonna have to pause for a minute, but that is some funny stuff that he's going over right now. His katanas, I forgot his katanas were named Bea and Arthur for the Golden Girls. Like that's funny as heck. You know who else dropped it? You know, we'll talk about this second too. You know who else is coming out, Rogue, with the new sequel? Did you see Kevin Smith did a Jay and Silent Bob reboot? I think is a Jay and Silent Bob, man. I grew up with them, right? I'm sure you did too. Yeah, they're doing the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. They dropped the they dropped the trailer at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, but there was so much other news that kind of got lost in the banter in the background. But the Red Band trailer, yeah. There was another Top Gun sequel with Tom Cruise flying a jet plane. Like, what? I don't know if you caught that one too, but that was kind of mind blowing. And they're using him as a fighter pilot in Top Gun 2. Like, I guess one of the big things is they put like a GoPro on his head or whatever, and then like the big thing is, hey, he's actually flying this jet. We let him fly this jet. Yeah, did Tim John kill himself? Absolutely. One step at a time. One step at a time. All right, so we'll continue on.
Wind up making after Wolverine Origins. Blind Owl's another suspect. Taika
Blind
Waititi is on here too, which is another subtle Marvel MCU Deadpool reference. Also, after Thor Ragnarok came out, Taika Waititi expressed an interest in doing a Deadpool movie in the future. Even though he's making Thor 4 next, he definitely has an opportunity to make a Deadpool movie if he wants to re-up after Thor 4. The really obscure Turk 182 reference at the bottom.
Okay, so we'll pause for a minute. I don't know what that picture is. It's like a caricature picture, maybe? I don't know what of though. Yeah, I don't know what of. Let's continue.
Is actually a reference to an old movie where someone gets revenge on a bunch of bureaucrats by adopting a secret identity and harassing them. He winds up creating all this awareness and eventually is lauded as a hero by the people. He becomes the hero of the movie, even though he seems like the villain at points. So the Turk in this conspiracy Deadpool situation is the person who actually leaked the Deadpool test footage, which, if you guys didn't know, is actually Ryan Reynolds himself. If it wasn't clear a long time ago...
So he's calling himself Turk 182, basically. Classic fourth wall Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. Like, this, he has gone all in on this character. Like, he's like, this is who I'm going to do from now on. Oh, maybe. Maybe they'll go back to almost.
And Reynolds has never publicly said, oh, it was definitely me that did it. He's never admitted to it, but that's part of this big conspiracy joke. Like, he knows that he's the one that did it, but he's trying to make it seem like he's investigating someone else who may have done it to throw everyone off the scent. The actual story of the leak is that prior to the leak happening, going back to 2005, Ryan Reynolds learned that Fox wanted to make a Deadpool movie because before Disney got all the characters back recently, Fox had access to hundreds and hundreds of characters to make movies with, and they'd only been doing the core X-Men characters, so they wanted to branch out a little bit more. So when they got to Wolverine Origins, Ryan Reynolds campaigned to be Deadpool in that. He won the role, and originally the intent is that his Deadpool Wade Wilson character would get a spin-off directly from Wolverine Origins. About a year after that movie came out...
I will pause, so... Like I said, I don't want to get copyright struck. But, interesting stuff so far. I mean... I think Julian... something is the kid's name that you're talking about, but it didn't really look like Fire Fist. Like, it looked like an adult rather than a kid, unless it's the kid grown up. I guess that could be it too.
Reese and Paul Wernick, the people that wrote both, got it by 2012. So the Deadpool test footage just sat on someone's hard drive for 2. You all probably remember finally gave them the green light to full idea for what their plans for Marvel Phase 5 were. Where Kevin Feige talks about things that are coming up in a really joking manner. Like, here, I'm going to tease all this stuff, but we can't actually talk about it yet.
I didn't even have time to talk about the Fantastic Four.
He starts to tease Mutants, Fantastic Four, and then he announces Blade.
And there's no time left to talk about mutants and how mutants.
That was all right before he announced the new Blade movie with Mahershala Ali, so he jokingly said that we don't have any time to tell you about Fantastic Four movies that we're working on or about mutants. When he said mutants, he was referring to the Deadpool movies that they'd be making and the X-Men characters that they'd be making movies with. The really good thing about all this, though, is that he's spent way more time talking about what their long-term Deadpool plans are than he has about the X-Men characters. He's been way more mysterious about the core X-Men characters. All good news, though, just to summarize what most of his statements have been, that he's a really big fan of what Ryan Reynolds and those people have been doing with the Deadpool movies.
So, I'm not sure. Well, there's quite a bit left. There's still like, I don't know, 3 minutes left of this thing, so we'll continue on.
Right now, their policy is basically don't fix it if it's not broken. So I think we can all agree that the X-Men are broken as a franchise. Fantastic Four has been broken as a franchise. So of course we want them to fix those things. We do not want them to mess too much with Deadpool.
No, don't mess with
because there's so much money on the line here, sometimes
Like,
you
I
just
agree with
don't
this
know
guy,
until
right?
you actually see it, which is part of the reason why they did that Once Upon a
Once Upon
Deadpool
a Deadpool.
experiment.
Have you
The
guys seen that?
PG-13 cut.
Have you guys seen that? The PG-13 cut of Once Upon a Deadpool? Which is Deadpool 2 with Fred Savage. And it's PG-13 instead of rated R. And that was kind of brilliant. So, you know, there was like... I think he's probably going to talk about it, so I'm going to...
Of Deadpool 2.
Why the holidays?
Thought it'd be fun.
Why PG-13?
It's a family movie. Also money. Also Disney.
So yeah,
he did. He said it. So yeah, that's why he did it. Like, he wanted to prove to Disney he could be a PG-13 instead of a rated R, and it would still be entertaining and still have true to the character and etc. etc. I think it was a success. Like, I saw it. It was funny. It was good. I mean, they did what he said it and did what he said he was going to do. Whether that would be what I'd want to see, probably not. But you know, Disney's been surprising us a lot lately. Like, they're going to let the horror film go through. I did see it, Rogue. But they did. They're gonna let Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to be a Marvel horror film, and I believe that what's going to bring in a movie like Blade to the forefront, because it makes that possible. So we'll see. I'm not gonna speculate too often much, but that's kind of like
Totally possible that Disney could continue releasing dual cuts of Deadpool, like at some point do a Deadpool 3 that's rated R, but then also release a home video version that's PG-13.
Scarlet Witch is.
But in terms of
actually, Scarlet Witch, I should do this just to be sure. Scarlet Witch and the WandaVision, from what they've been dropping, the teasers and all that, what's been dropping, it sounds like there we go. It sounds like what they're gonna do with WandaVision is they're gonna have the setup for what's coming in Doctor Strange. So, like, you're talking about retcon. What I think is gonna happen is they're gonna have Scarlet Witch. She's gone crazy because of what happened to Vision. Like, she's just completely lost her mind. Thanos took away everything. She got her revenge, but she's still insane about it. And I think you're gonna have Paul Bettany come back as like a just Ghost Vision. He will be in her mind only, and I'm pretty sure that the crossover between Strange and Wanda, because she's gonna be in his movie. Exactly, it's the House of M storyline. So I think WandaVision is positioning for the House of M, and Doctor Strange is progressing us to it. Oh, she absolutely can create him. That's hands down no problem. But I think that's how they're doing it, which is brilliant. That is just a brilliant thing that they're doing. Like, can you guys think of a better way to integrate those two and bring in a multiverse at the same time like that? Like, that is just genius to bring in the House of M that way. Hats off, man. Feige is a brilliant genius. All that. Anyway, we'll go back to the
MCU. Even though Deadpool 3 would be within the MCU scope of films, the best thing that we've heard from the Disney CEO is they do intend on releasing more Deadpool rated R films. The thing that you should take away from this, though, is that the Deadpool will continue to be rated R The only thing that's really going to be different with him in the MCU is that they'll just give him access to characters and things that he wouldn't necessarily have had access to when the companies were still separate and Fox still controlled all those characters. But as a consequence of him being rated R in...
It does have a lot of potential. And I understand about not getting your expectations set high. Like, you don't want to be let down if or when it doesn't happen correctly or just flops or whatever. But I think the way that they're kind of planning out the integrations between the Disney Plus streaming and the movies is a really fun way to do a lot of different things. That's one thing. I also believe, as he was just saying, that you have a lot of different ways now to set up other things. Like, I also heard that Young Avengers was confirmed recently, like yesterday or the day before maybe, that one of the new Avengers coming up is going to be Young Avengers. And I've also heard that one of them is going to be the Dark Avengers. And I also think that everything that you're seeing in Phase 4 is going to be a setup for the Avengers that are coming into Phase 5, the end of Phase 5. Starting even with Black Widow. So I think in Black Widow, from what they've kind of leaked and stuff, I'm fairly certain, or I should say, it's highly speculative that, because it's retcon, right? It starts prior to, but then up to Endgame, the blip as they call it. I think that Black Widow is going to pass the mantle in that movie to the next Black Widow. So, kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, they have a big shoes to fill. I mean, they surpassed. They're the number one movie now. They beat themselves. Disney beat themselves to be the number one movie. So it is what it is. I'm with you. Although I think they have the potential to make it better. Like, they have the pieces in place. If they just execute it properly, I don't think there's going to be an issue. I think it's going to be bigger, 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 bigger. I don't think we're going to have that cap for a while. That's true. This race does happen. I have pre-ordered. I will be looking forward to the Prime release, so I can watch Endgame again.
Traditional MCU films being PG-13, don't expect him to be rated R when he crosses over into other MCU films. His films might be rated R, and characters that cross over into that might be a little more hardcore, but he himself, if he showed up in an Avengers movie, which he eventually probably will, that's when he would have to be PG-13. And if you want to know what that feels like and you haven't watched Once Upon a Deadpool, check that movie out, because that's basically what it would feel like.
Yeah.
I need you almost as much as you need me.
I don't need you at
You
all.
need me to untie you once we're done. Hey, easy, sugar mouth.
Really early speculation
Easy
prediction,
shit,
though. We see Deadpool 3 before we see the next Marvel Fantastic Four film, because they already have all the Deadpool characters. They just need to write a new script and shoot it. They still have to cast the Fantastic Four and figure out what they're going to do with that movie. I'm working on an Iron Man Shang-Chi Easter egg video that should post in the next day, and a Spider-Man 3 video. Congratulations, Brett.
Oh, that's another thing. They did a little bit of pre-release, a little bit of teaser trailer movie magicry about the Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. Like, they did a little bit of a release. I think at D23 we're going to get an even bigger announcement, because that's Disney's thing. That's August. That's next month. Like, I did not expect them to drop the news they dropped at Comic-Con like they did. That was completely unexpected. I think D23 is going to be, in Anaheim, 3 weeks away. It's gonna be insane. I think it's gonna have either more Phase 4 that they didn't announce, or Phase 5. I don't know, man. There's so much they can do, or even more the shows, like the streaming shows, because those shows are going to be like 6 episodes long or so. Like they're not going to be huge shows, but they're going to tell the story that leads between the two. So they'll have a movie, and then the story that leads to the next movie, and then the story that leads to the next movie, and you just, that's how they're kind of planning it out. Anything to get more money out of us, I'm sure. Like, I will be part of Disney streaming service for that alone, just to watch those things, because I want to see the Hawkeye. I want to see WandaVision. They also said WandaVision was the weirdest thing, quote, the weirdest thing we've ever done. That's how they put it. WandaVision was the weirdest thing we've ever done. And that tells me House of M probably confirmed at that point. Like, that's how I think the weirdest thing is.
Wolfie, you're the giveaway winner from my last big video. Please email me on...
Okay, so that was all he's saying in this. We will go back to the game now. So. They have... It's going to be similar to Netflix, I believe. It's supposed to launch September, October, in the fall. I'll see. See if I can find out. Oh! Disney Plus will cost $7 a month and will be released on November 12th. So there's your dates. $7 a month, November 12th. That's funny, Rogue. I got the 12th, not the 15th. Like, I'm looking at Disney's, and it says the 12th. But yeah, $6.99 is what it is. It's... Right. It's pretty much been all over it now. $7. I think they'll be taking early stuff soon. Kind of what I'm saying. You could do it like you could do it at $6.99 a month or $69.99 for the entire year. I think that's how they're putting it out. You could buy it for a month or a year at a time. Just kind of reading. One thing that they're not doing, but they're looking to do in the near term, because they're taking all their stuff from Netflix. Like, everything from Disney is coming off of Netflix. I don't know, you guys have probably heard this by now. Except a few contractual things that they have through a few more years. But after those years are done, it's gone. They are doing a Supernatural series, kind of like the Disney Plus series. It's going to have like Ghost Rider and a couple of the other ones. That series... Oh, and this is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s last season also. Right? Season 7 is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s last season for CBS. There will be no more. But the Ghost Rider series is actually going to be on Hulu. And I think what they're doing is they're working out a way to bundle the Hulu and Disney Plus, because Disney owns Hulu. I don't know if you knew that or not. Disney owns Hulu. So I think what they're going to do is try to do it that way. They're going to have some of the weirder test bed ones that go onto Hulu first, and then either move them over to Disney Plus, or I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think the price will include a subset of subscription for Hulu to see those other shows, but I don't want to tell you that for sure, because that's not been confirmed for sure. That's just kind of the rumor out there. Let's see. Thanos or Titans Doom Patrol were good. Yes. Rest of DC, I'm careless, but yeah, right. DC needs so much help. So much help. They're trying another reboot, right? And I don't think it's gonna be successful the way it's looking, unfortunately. I think the James Gunn movie, Suicide Squad 2, probably be the last decent one they pump out for a while. Maybe. We'll see. Unfortunately, Joss Whedon didn't do what he was supposed to do when he went over there. Though that wasn't all his fault either. He came into a project midway, and then he did what he could. And that was Justice League. He did what he could. But I think it was too late. I'm more excited about the CW and TV series like Green Arrow. It's this last season too. Flash, Supergirl, and their crossover. Did you hear about their crossover coming up? They're doing the Crisis. They're doing it though. They're doing the crossover Crisis series from the comics, which is crazy. Yeah, Green Arrow was great for a little while at the beginning. Yeah, he got really bad later on. But that's because they've never changed him. Like, he has been the same person. You can only tell it so many times before you just like they went they went so far as to do they saw into the future and they were doing the same thing again. And it's just like, well, this is what we have to look forward to. Why are we even watching this? We've already seen this a million times now. I don't want to watch it anymore. Yeah, that was bad. Exactly. And it's the same, like, they were the same thing. It's like, what's the flipping point here? Why are you even showing me this? But yeah, I digress. Whatever. But I do think they'll do the Crisis, right? Because they're bringing in multiple Supermans, and not only are they bringing in multiple Supermans, they're bringing like the Superman from Superman Returns. Remember that guy? I forgot his name. They're bringing him. They're bringing the guy that's playing Adam now, who was Superman in one of the other Brandon Roth. Yes, I guess. God, I forgot his name too. But they're bringing him back also. I don't think they'll do Henry Cavill, but I think it's really cool they're doing multiple Supermen as the Crisis would kind of call for, and multiple other characters that will cross over. It's really, that could be fun to watch, but that's the end of it. Like, at that point, there's nothing left for them to try to do. And then what's DC got? It's got nothing in its horizon. There's no... You have Suicide Squad 2. You have Aquaman 2, probably. You have Wonder Woman 1984, which they've been talking about forever, but then they never release or never show trailers, so you don't really know what's going on with it. They have to reboot Batman, Birds of Prey. They had to reboot Batman again because Ben Affleck quit, which he was a great Bruce Wayne. I actually like him as Bruce Wayne. Black Adam, thank you. Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, you say Black Adam, but then there's no news about it. Shazam 2. They've talked more about Shazam 2 than anything else. And it's like, this is what you think people want, right? They want to see this. This is not what people want. But maybe that's where they're thinking that their niche is, because they had success with it. A lot of people like Shazam. I didn't even watch it, man. I don't even know. Yeah, I didn't even watch it because it wasn't that. It wasn't that to me. It wasn't like, I didn't read a lot of Shazam comics or anything, so I was never really interested in that particular story of the kid becoming the man when he says the word, which used to be Marvel, by the way. It wasn't Shazam, which I think that was funny. Like his name was Captain Marvel before it was Shazam. I think that's kind of funny. Another one I'm not sure I'm completely sold on is the Winter Soldier, Falcon, Captain America series. Like, that's gonna kick everything off. And from what I'm understanding, kind of what they've leaked about some of the plot line is because Cap gave Falcon the shield, you know, he's using it. He's becoming the Captain America. He's taking the mantle up. But the government doesn't want him to, from what I'm understanding. This is what's going on in the series. The government doesn't want him to take it over. And so they try to take it away. And that's kind of where the show leads through that whole series. I don't know if that's 100%, but that's kind of what I see from what I've seen and heard so far. They could, and it would be past the time between the movies, right? It would just be a way for them to do something between movies, keep people interested and keep them going. And some of them will set up big events later on. Some of them will maybe set up big events in the next movie, and then maybe the movie sets up bigger events for even further down the road. But, you know, TBD, I don't know. Just kind of all speculation right now. But yeah, the Winter Soldier / Captain America Captain Falcon. They also are playing off of, I want to say they're playing off the Black Widow movie, because it goes Black Widow into that series, and I think they play a little bit off of that series. And if you guys heard about the Black Widow movie, you know Taskmaster is our villain, right? So that's been confirmed, and which is gonna be awesome if they do him right. That's gonna be kick ass, because our Taskmaster in the game, he sucks, but the Taskmaster in the comics, really awesome. He did some really cool stuff. And I would like to see how he's portrayed in the MCU. Done correctly, he will be badass. But also, we're getting the Red Guardian, right? You guys know about that? Red Guardian is coming. Boris something. He is the Russian version of Captain America. It's called the Red Guardian. He also is in the movie. I guess he trains Black Widow to some degree in something, and he turns out to he starts off as a good guy and turns out to be a bad guy, something similar to the comics. That's kind of what happened. What's going on, Jose? So I think that's really cool. It can be done very cool. And oh, what else? There's another character that's coming. Oh, Black Widow's replacement. She was named. I forgot her name off the top of my head now, but it was in there. So I'm looking very much forward to seeing how they're doing. And the Hawkeye, I guess he's got a couple iterations in it. Like he goes from Hawkeye and the Budapest. They explain Budapest finally. We get to hear about that. We're talking about Phase 4/5 in the MCU. So they're gonna finally get to see Budapest, and we're gonna get to see Hawkeye as Ronin, I think, more, and I think that bleeds over into the Hawkeye one later, where he is Ronin, and then he gets back into Hawkeye and trains his replacement, who is Kate Bishop. We all know she's gonna end up being a Hawkeye. Yeah, she's gonna end up being Hawkeye. but I think we're gonna see more of what happened with him and Ronan. I also think that I think Hawkeye has a lot to do with this. He's gonna be like the Black Widow from last phase, where she was like in every movie, but she never had a movie of her own. In this one, he's gonna be in, I think, just about all the movies, because Shang-Chi, it comes and is released. It also deals with the time, I believe, when Ronan was doing his thing, fighting the cartels and Yakuza and all that. I think they have a really good through line for him to be in just a little bit of everything, and then finally pass it over, and we get Kate Bishop, and we get another new Avenger. I think that's what they're going for. I think this is where the start of the new Avengers comes, because they've also confirmed that Monica Rambeau is coming in one of the movies. Which, as we know, is Photon, or Carol Danvers' friend's daughter. So that's all going to come down. Like, they've got, if Marvel is one thing, and it's very detail oriented, and I think if you just sit and think about the masterfulness of what they did, yeah, there's plot holes in everything. Don't get me wrong. You're going to find plot holes in everything. You'll see where they've made a mistake here or there. Small ones, not big ones. But in the bigger picture, they've done such a good job of keeping the continuity together. It's incredible. Which is why we're all hyped all the time, and we're all just amazed, because they just can't do that. They just can't do that willy-nilly. Like, that's what X-Men were trying to do. Their timeline is all over the place. Why it just never worked for them. And then you have the other side of the spectrum where Sony's trying to bring in too many. Oh, that's another one. So I think Gamora will be maybe. You never know. You never know. The Spider-Man. So Sony, and this actually had a really good backing to this rumor. They said that Sony had said, look, we're going to let you make these movies with Spider-Man. We're going to put our name on it. You can do all the stuff behind the scene, but it's coming out as a Sony movie. We're selling it in our distributions. It could be in your MCU, but it's a Sony film. And so Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, those were Sony movies. There's one more left. They had said they would give him 3 movies, right? There was one more left on this contract. And then there was 5 total. So you had Civil War. That was the first appearance of Spider-Man. Tom Holland. Then you had Far From Home. You had Endgame and Infinity War, which they considered one movie for them, for this intent. Then you have Homecoming. And there was one more TBD movie. So the deal they made, from what I'm hearing, is that unless Spider-Man Far From Home earned $1 billion, then Sony would take everything back into their own universe, and they wouldn't have to do any more at all with Marvel. But I'm pretty sure, last I checked, Spider-Man Far From Home eclipsed that $1 billion mark. What's up, Meister? Sorry, what did you say, Jose? Do you think Gamora should have died in the game? I'm gonna stop growing, come back to life from the flip. And his children minister to that's Gamora. Well, we don't actually even know what happened to Gamora. We don't know. She might have been snapped. Like, she just disappeared. We don't know where. And yeah, you don't know how Iron Man worded his snap. Like, it could be anybody that's against us. And at that point, she wasn't against us. Oh, there you go. There you go. Listen to what Rogue said, man. There is a deleted scene out there. Go check it out. But yeah, Spider-Man: Far From Home needed to make $1 billion. It did make $1 billion, and by making $1 billion, I believe they either get to continue with everything in the MCU and beyond for unforeseeable future, or they actually get most of it back, and like I think they could start bringing in like other Spider-Verse things into the MCU. Like we've been talking about Venom crossover. We've been talking about Sinister Six stuff, Goblin, Green Goblin. All these, I believe, can now come. Yes, I believe Twitch will allow you to post links because I have it set to allow you to post links, group. So you should be able to do that. Can you say what it was? You can say what. We're not talking about anything that's just not leaks or whatever. Like, so you're not spoiling anything. Everything I'm saying is all speculative. It could drastically be different than what I'm talking about. But oh, and Blade, the Blade announcement. You know, when he came out and he said that, you guys saw just a little bit ago. He says, "Hey, we didn't have time to talk about Fantastic Four. We didn't have time to talk about mutants. But we are going to have time to talk about this." And he brings out Mahershala Ali. He pulls on the Blade hat. Like, Blade! Which then I thought, oh man, Wesley Snipes is going to be pissed. Because he, for like the last few years, has been trying to get Marvel to let him do Blade again. Like, he was all over that. And then it kind of cooled for the last couple of years. But he was always like, I want to do Blade again. I want to come back as Blade. But he was very gracious. At least on the outside, he was very gracious. You know, he concedes like, no, this is awesome. I can't believe this is great. We should be thankful that they're doing this. I think Marvel will go out of their way to put him in the movie somehow. And the way a lot of people have been asking and talking is he should be Whistler. He should take Chris Christopherson's place and be Whistler in the Blade movie. What do you guys think of that? Like, that's a really flippin' cool idea. Well, we are. We're talking about it. Mike said, like, Mahershala Ali is playing him in the next movie, right? So it's not gonna be Snipes. Like, everybody knows Snipes. Everybody, you know, Blade 1 and 2, great movies. Blade 3 was meh. But Mahershala Ali, he like went to Marvel. You know, he's a 2-time Oscar winner now. And even though he was in Luke Cage as Cottonmouth, as far as I know, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, there is not a single time the movies have acknowledged anything in the Netflix realm. Can you guys think of a single anything that acknowledges the movies in the Netflix realm? Not CBS, Shield, Agents of Shield. No, I'm talking about the Netflix. You know, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. None of them were ever mentioned in any capacity in the MCU. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's never happened. And by that never happening is why they're like, well, we don't even acknowledge that he was Cottonmouth in this show. We're bringing him in as Blade now. The Netflix has definitely acknowledged the movies. Yes, that is absolutely true. But the movies have never acknowledged the Netflix series. Even though they talked about, like, all of us talked about, like, hey, we want to see a cameo from Daredevil, which, by the way, Matt Murdock, that Daredevil, he's who they need to cast. If they're going to redo in a few years, he's who they need. He was great, Matt Murdock. He's one of the few correct castings that they did for any of that. But yeah, they never once. We wanted to see them in the MCU. We wanted to talk about them in the MCU, but they were never there. But like you said, they did the other side of it. They did. It was in. It was in the. Vaguely in the Netflix stuff. Which I assume Disney all along knew what was going to eventually happen. And they were just like, you know what? We're going to wait for these things to die down. And once it's died, thanks, Jose. Appreciate that, man. They'd be like, once it's died down. Oh, my legs didn't work. I'll have to look at that. Once all that noise has died down, then I think they're going to reboot them correctly the way they want to bring them in and bring them in. Now, one of the characters that I'm really looking forward to is Kingpin. I want to see a proper Carl Fisk Kingpin in the MCU, in Spider-Man, in Hell's Kitchen, Queens, Brooklyn. I want to see them do that. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Like, he's such a big character in the comics, right? He's does so much. Yeah. We haven't even played the game tonight. It's all been dark. I think that's bad. That's fine. Might as well get this out of the way. Something I've asked them to do is fix this. Give me a damn help all option, please, so I don't have to keep clicking this stupid button. Which only works half the time anyway. Hell yeah, man. So, how about you guys? Like, what do you want to see? Do you want to see them reboot the Netflix stuff right away? Do you want them to wait? Do you want to see Fantastic Four first? Do you want to see Mutants first? Do you want to see Deadpool first? Like, how do you guys want to see it? I know personally, I want to see a really good Fantastic Four. Like, that is something I want to see done right. You want to see some mutants. I do want to see some mutants. But I think they're still on cooldown from what Fox did to them. I think they need a little bit more time. If they were, I think it should be like Deadpool, like we were just seeing. Like, that should be the mutant that they bring in first. And somehow, some way, make Scarlet Witch realize she is a mutant. Because in the comics, she's a mutant. Keanu Logan. Yeah, so you know about that, right? So Keanu Reeves is supposed to be in the MCU in some way, shape, fashion, form, whatever. He in the past has stated he wants to play Wolverine. So will they let him do it? Like, he is as big as Mahershala Ali, so maybe they let him do it. Maybe that is the first mutant we see is a Wolverine, Keanu Reeves version of Wolverine. Then I've also heard that Keanu Reeves would be the Silver Surfer, which would be kind of fitting for him also. Galactus's Herald. Let's see what he can bring for us. And of course, they have the Eternals coming up. So Angelina Jolie and Matt Russell and Salma Hayek, and like that's gonna be a pretty decent movie too, I think. Like you were worried, but they have so much coming that I'm still very familiar with. Like they haven't gone too obscure in the comics that I'm not, or I haven't read something from something. Even though the Eternals were only like what? I think they actually only had like a 17 issue run or something. But then from that point, they've been spotted in other comics throughout the long history of Marvel. So it's not like they're unknown. They just didn't have their own specific run for that kind of thing. And then also, yeah, you guys know, the Thanos came from Eternals. That's where Thanos' origin was. Yeah, they have definitely shown. They have. So before the movies, Guardians of the Galaxy was pretty obscure. And you absolutely right. They rocked it, man. They brought it out of the park. I think the next Thor, Love and Thunder, where they're talking about Jane Foster being Thor. I don't know how they're really going to play this off yet. Like, they could play it off as Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we only see him briefly in the movie, and then we get a larger view of Valkyrie and Jane Foster. Yeah, you know what, Mike, so you're absolutely right. After watching the John Wick movies, which I have still yet to see John Wick 3, I want to see it so bad. I haven't had a chance to get to the movies to see it. Maybe that's something I'll do this coming week or something. But yes, I would love to see him in a prime role, like Wolverine, because he rocked those movies. The only thing about the John Wick movies that I didn't like was some of the CGI in it. Like, his action scenes, his choreography was spot on, brilliant. But if you ever watched like the fire from the gun, it's very unrealistic, and it kind of throws you off a little, especially if you've been around guns and fired them and seen. They don't look like that. Like they made it look fake, unfortunately. But that's all I'm saying about it. I think it's doing all right. It's brilliant series so far. Anyway, I didn't hear from you guys. So I heard from Sniper. You want to see Mutants. And Mike sure wants to see Keanu Logan. How about you, Jose? Or anybody else out there? What do you guys want to see them bring in besides what they've announced? Where do you see them bringing in Blade? No Keanu Logan. Carl Urban needs to be the new Wolverine. Really? You want Carl Urban to be the new Wolverine? Interesting choice. Let's see. He could definitely be the new one. That's what I was doing. I mean, yeah, I'll pull up 1 second. I have to add you in here. Source. So that's who you're talking about. You guys can see it, right? This is who Rogue wants to be as new Wolverine. He definitely looks Wolverine-y, especially in that picture. That's why I picked that one. So, you know what he's acted in, right? So he has been... He was in Xena, Warrior Princess, if you remember Xena. He's done Star Trek, obviously. He was in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he's in Lord of the Rings. He's in Dune. He's gonna be Dr. Bones McCoy in the untitled Star Trek sequel coming up. He's also he was in Bent, Hangman, X Vengeance. Oh, duh! You can't have him, man. I'm sorry, we can't have him. We cannot have him, and there's a reason for that. And it's not that he's not worthy or anything, but there is a reason. Yep, you got it. He was in Thor. He was Scourge, right? That was Scourge and Thor. They will never do that, unfortunately. It's unfortunate though, because he does look the part. So Chris Evans has been in, not in the MCU, as I was just going to say, he's been in multiple parts, but not in the MCU. In the MCU, he's only been Captain America. I mean, otherwise, we wouldn't have had a Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther. Because he was... he was Human Torch. I mean, come on. Like, how did he read that script and be like, yeah, that's the part for me. I want to do that. Go from that to, no, you know what? Killmonger, that was made for me. That was made for that dude. He was such a great Killmonger. We need more villains like that. That's what we need. This is what he does. There's been a few of those. Of course, if they do that though, you know what? You got to think about that. How are they going to do? How are they going to pull off a Thanos and a Cable simultaneously? Not with. I mean, they could CGI and blah blah blah. I'm not talking about that. I'm like, how do they justify that? Cable being part of. Yeah, but it's just. Like, that's when we're gonna scream. That's when we're gonna say, wait a minute, you can't do that because you wouldn't let Scourge be Wolverine, or you wouldn't let. You know, that's this. Yeah, Mikester. Very clever. Yeah, you're probably right. He probably saw that and says, you know what? I could do that. I could be in the MCU if I play Human Torch and bomb it like Evans did in the first time they tried this. If I can bomb it, man, maybe they'll put me in the MCU. They freaking did. No, man, they did do that. Like, that absolutely happened. Literally verbatim. He was. Like, and everybody's like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Lo and behold, Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger. Then he put Cable blatantly in. No, they need to though. Like, you can't have a Deadpool 3 at this point, without Cable, probably without Domino. They still need Bender put in there. Fassbender to be put in there. Like they gotta have the taxi driver. Colossus, Negasonic Teenage War. I mean, there's certain characters that they have to kind of put in there. They could put him in as Cable, or they could put him in as Cable and have Deadpool dress him up as Thanos, as like a gag. Like that would be flippin' hilarious. Give him the scrotum chin and everything. That would be hilarious. Like that would be Deadpool break wall classic. I'm just sitting there thinking about laughing in my head. Like I'm laughing very loudly in my head. That would be hilarious. Maybe I should write them, write Ryan Reynolds and say, "Hey man, this is what you need to do." So what I really hope is that they don't, number one, do what they did in the first Fantastic Four and try to make him nothing more than a freaking cloud. Galactus, that is, because that is so dumb. That was so dumb. So dumb. But yes, I can see them. I can see them using him in that way. Like, I think in that way it would work. Because Galactus is such a monstrous entity, like a Thanos, that you could completely just, use his voice and his body actions, but you wouldn't use any of his features to be the Galactus. So yeah, I think that could absolutely work. I also think that we need to have some other ones before we get Galactus. I think Kang the Conqueror has to be in there. I think there's a couple others that I'm trying to think of. Some of the Celestials need to be in there. Which they could come in with the Eternals, I guess. The Celestials, the Eternals. They need to have Doctor Doom in there. Right, exactly. They have Doctor Doom needs to be in there. And he should be coming with Fantastic Four. Like, that's the part they did right. They should have had Doctor Doom come in with the Fantastic Four as their enemy. So that was kind of a plot line, I think. I don't know if kind of got out. So the guy that did Ant-Man and Wasp, the director, he's been wanting to do the Fantastic Four for a long time. In fact, he said, "Hey, I'll do the Ant-Man and Wasp, but should it ever come up to the point where we can do Fantastic Four, that's the one I really want to do." And he wants to do it in a 1960s setting. That was what he said. It's got to be from the 60s. It's got to be that era of Fantastic Four. So fast forward to Endgame, Microverse, time travel. Here's what the plot line looks like for Fantastic Four. They could do most of their movie in the 1960s. Or at least some of their movie in the 1960s. And have something, because that's right around the time Hank Pym invented the technology for Ant-Man and Wasp. Like, that's right around that time. So 60s and 70s, that was when Hank Pym's breakthrough came through, and he made the suit, and he started with Wasp, and they were doing the shrinking and the Pym particle and blah blah blah. All that happened in the 60s and 70s. In fact, if you remember, Stark went back to 1970 to get the Pym particles from Hank Pym, which were already created at that point. So he was already experimenting well before that. So I think what they can do is have the Fantastic Four as part of an experiment or something going wrong with that Pym particle, and they have been put into the micro realm, and they've been in there for dozens of years, plural dozens, years and years and years, and years, decades. And then fast forward to present time, when we're doing all the time traveling and kind of figuring it all out, this is where they can come back out. Like, they can have a way back out now. And I believe that that's how they're going to have the Fantastic Four in both the early 60s, the start, which is what he wants, into present day, and how they can make it make sense. And then you're going to have, like, the rest of the storyline will be something like Captain America First Avenger, when he woke up 70 years later and he was frozen and everything had changed. That's, I think, what they're going to do with the Fantastic Four, and why it explains why we haven't heard about them. That was kind of more important. Like, why don't we know about these? Mutants are kind of easy. They could just come from another multiverse. But the Fantastic Four, we kind of want them to be in our universe. And I think that's a good way to explain them. How they got to present day from the past. Etc., etc. Yes, Squirrel Girl. We do need Squirrel Girl. We need Squirrel Girl in our game. We need a Squirrel Girl in MCOC. And she better be OP. Take on anything. Maybe dangle a Howard the Duck by her tail or something. I don't know. It'd have to be, man. It's Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl beats anything. Squirrel Girl beat Doctor Doom multiple times. She beats Thanos. She beats... I think she's beaten everybody. At least once. She's Squirrel Girl. Another Kamala Khan? Probably. Or maybe that's the Kamala Khan buff. She transforms into Squirrel Girl. That would be pretty cool. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen, Kabam. Make Kamala Khan turn into Squirrel Girl and then just obliterate everything. Like, let her grow a tail with that stretchy skin. Come on. That's what we need, Kabam. That's what we need. Oh, if they only listened that way. If they only listened that well to me. They don't. Although my amalgamation idea is starting to take a little bit more of a firm hold. I don't know if you guys were there when I told you, but I talked to the CCP people, and I'm like, you guys should do more amalgam characters and allow us to have them. Let us have these amalgam characters to play with, even if it's for a brief time. Cosmic Ghost Rider and the Juggertug. Nice. That would be awesome. Yeah, that's the idea, right? So we had Ice Phoenix. Remember Ice Phoenix when we fought him, whatever. That was a good example of amalgamation. So, but I don't want to play against them. I want to play them. That would be fun. So, Unstoppable Ant-Man, yes. Yeah, so that I pitched the idea to them, and I gave them a crap ton of the characters from the comics, from the actual comics that are amalgam characters. see if I can find a few for you. So there was a whole series, right? They did a whole Amalgam Comics series. And they did... Hang on, I want to find a good list for you. So one of the ones they did. So they did a crossover with DC too. Yeah, they did. Remember they did a crossover with DC. That's not going to come into the game. So get those ideas out. However, they did Ace. No, that's not the one. Here we go. So we have Wolverine and Emma Frost. And so doesn't actually have a name, but I was calling it White Wolf. You have Dark Knight and Wolverine. That was Dark Claw. Yeah, I can't find any of the top of my head here. I'm looking for them. All I'm seeing is the DC Smash Around, but there's a bunch. There's a bunch. They're really kind of weird, but I want to see. Like I planted the seed with them. I'm like, hey, we need to do this. You guys should do this or think about this. Or what's the chances we can get this? And at first they're like, that's not gonna come. Like that'll be years. You know, way down the line. We're not even thinking about that right now. They have too much other stuff going on. And then they surprised me about a week ago when they were talking about Amalgam characters, and I was like, oh, I planted the seed, and now they're taking it. But they had a pretty good selection that I had given them. I gave them like 20 to choose from. But that was my favorite. What's up, Silver? How you doing, man? You took Movie Marvel to 455 yesterday. Nice. How you liking her? She's pretty awesome, isn't she? She's pretty awesome. I enjoy playing her when I was playing. I probably should play them a lot more, actually. I'll tell you one thing I did. I did another Labyrinth of Legends run with my Aegon. And let me tell you guys, that is one beast of a character. Aegon is pretty awesome. And Mikester, yes, I absolutely used the trick we talked about. I finished that up. I had the 999 And 999. In 2 fights. 2 fights. No, 3 fights, sorry. So I was already at max level for 3 fights, and then it just breezed. Each fight was less than 5 minutes after that. Less than 5 minutes for a Labyrinth of Legends fight, which is extraordinarily nice. Yeah, dude, that was awesome. That worked out really well. Should be your next 565, 100%. Really, that's nice. Are you I'm not sold on Human Torch, man. Like, I know he's probably got really good potential, but I just wasn't sold when I had him. Just like I wasn't. I said just like Ebony Maw. I was definitely like 100%. This is terrible character. I don't want anything to do with it. So, but Human Torch, I did play around with, and I rather enjoyed him. But he was like a 4-star. And this time we had 4 stars, and it was like he's not hitting hard enough for me, and I couldn't get his stuff built up. I know Perry Happy was pardon me what I was doing, but I just couldn't quite get it to the levels I needed it to be at. And then, well, Call Obsidian came out, and then I was like, oh, I want to call. Nick, very nice. I did, finally level up my Domino. I actually got my Domino to rank 5 now, and they got rank 5. And they're all max sync. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to rank 5 another 5-star, or do I want to rank 2 a 6-star? But my 6 stars aren't great, so I was like, well, now do I hold it for a really good one, or take a chance? I don't know. First world problems, right? You're legitimately considering a rank 2 on Havoc. Nice. Yeah, like, I don't have Havoc. I just got a Nihilist. I want to see how he does in war. Hopeful for that. Heard he's really good there. Yes, I got nobody. Nobody that's really worth those particular resources. Now, maybe if Iron Man Infinity War was Awakened, or Captain Marvel was Awakened, even though she's not, she's still really good. And that's definitely one on my list that I'm thinking about. If she was Awakened, I would probably do that hands down. He'll be in the basic pool. It'll be after this feature set, right? So how long are the features on for? Looks like 14 days for the 6-star pool, and then a month and a half for the 6 and the 5-star. Ronin will be next, yep. So I was like a month and a half, so the next half month, then it comes Ronin, then it should be Cole after that. But no, that'd be the same for 6 stars. So it'd be yeah, about a month and a half ish till they go into basics. No, it does not. But I knew Ronan was coming in first, next, and it would be here after that. So yeah, about a month and a half, right? Because Ronan won't come in for another 2 weeks from now. All right? And then 2 weeks after that, I can just look this up. I don't have to guess this. I can look this up. It's starting to, yes. There we go. So, okay. So we are July 30th. I'm sorry, it's not Ronin. The next one is July 30th, and it will be Human Torch. August 13th will be Ronin. August 27th. August 27th. Like I said, about a month and a half away. Is when Cold Obsidian comes. And then September 10th is when Ebony Maw comes. So, yeah. Human Torch, Ronin, Cole, Maw. Mikester, you might actually see me play Dungeons. Because I have not got my Cold Obsidian. That may be the time when I start playing that. You are correct. When I got this guy, I went, oh boy, not. That was terrible. That was terrible. Ah! What did he... LTK Warrior 1. What's up, man? What you got on your account? What am I looking up? When he's duped as a Disney defender. Yeah, but duped is ranked, right? But I would not waste, and that's what I would be doing, is wasting resources on that, man. I can't bring myself to do it. It's just painful as it is. Like, I've played him, and it's so bad. Just give me your IGN. You know what? Actually, hit me up after, man. Like, but we can check it out later. Because I don't have, unless you give me your IGN, then I can look it up. I'm not gonna go to the. Like, is that your IGN? Is Woody333? Is that? Yeah, which one are you, man? So you're the 1 million. This is you right here. You got Sabretooth. You have Killmonger, some Blade, some Archangel, and I'm wondering, you're at 1 million PI, and you got some really high. What are you doing in season 10 Silver 1? What you doing in that alliance? I'm at 12 million alliance. What are you doing in that alliance, man? Hey, what the heck? You got some skill behind you? Come join our squad. We need one. Open invite. I know, right? We do. We're missing one. There you go. That's my flex. I'm just messing. No, look good though, man. Okay, a pretty good account going on. But you probably do need to get a little bit higher alliance, unless you're in there with a friend or something. That's I understand. I understand that. Oh, hey, everybody. Just think about that. Sorry. Tomorrow is Wednesday? Yeah, no, tomorrow's Tuesday. Shoot, I'm way off. Wednesday. So, first of all, tomorrow, Endgame released digitally, so make sure you get your pre-orders in or get your copy when it's out. All good. I want to see that. Wednesday is the first. Competition in the showdown. So I don't know if you guys have seen. I'll post this out for you guys too. I don't know if you guys have seen the forum post, but let me get this up real quick. Pull it out. So. That seems so weird. Alright, so that's not working the way I wanted it to do. But this right here. 2 days away from the very first Summoner Showdown. What's up, Doc 4? How you doing, man? Summoner Showdown. It's Chunky V, Starfighter 70717, and Duck Slug. So there's a chance right now if you guys go in, and what this is telling you is if you go in and you duel one of those accounts and you screenshot it and send the screenshot in, you could win a 5-star hero crystal. Like, if it's a free crystal, go duel those 3 accounts, put your screenshot in, and yeah, you get a chance to win a 5-star hero. They're gonna be doing this every week, so this is first week, which starts tomorrow. So this all starts tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 Eastern, and then next week is the next set of guys coming in, and then week 3, that's me. I go in week 3. So you also want to vote for who you think is going to win, and I would appreciate all the support we can get. The names are MCOC Chunky B. So you have to have the MCOC before it. It's MCOC. Here. Let me do this a little bit differently. So that way you can see it better. Add a new source. We're going to do a window. Yeah. This. So give me 1 second. I'll have this up for you. There you go. Alright, there you go. So, as you can see, those are the names. MCOC, Chunky B, Starfighter, and MCOC Duck Slug. Those are the names you have to look up and duel. Do not duel their actual names from here. Duel these guys. That better? So yeah, MCSC Chunky B, MCSC Starfighter, MCSC Duck Slug. Duel those guys, and you submit your screenshot to this. So I'll go ahead and copy this into here for you. So that way you have the actual forum post. Yeah, you copy it into that screenshot and that where it says screenshots. You could do it 3 times. You could do 1 for each one. So each one will give you an extra up into the crystal. And then you vote for who you think is going to win. That's another vote for winning the crystal. And once you do the vote and the entries, then you watch the thing. They'll announce the winner at that time. So I think it's kind of cool that they're actually letting the rest of the community help with this whole event for us. Like, this is wildly exciting for me personally. So I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to having you guys cheer me on. I hope we'll see. We'll see who you actually cheer. So I don't know if you guys know who I'm supposed to be fighting. I actually have that too, because that I'm supposed to be fighting. Hang on 1 second. I gotta find it. Where's it at? Where's it at? There, and then it in here. There it is. Alright. So week 3. I'm week 2. So next week is Cade, Rojo 34, and Big Blue 807. That's the second week. Third week is Captain Bay, me, and DT Melodic Metal. DT Melodic Metal. That's week 3. Week 4 is JJW, Roasted Bagel, and Deacon OTR. Week 5 is Panda Man Pete, Dragon Faye, and Royal Marshall. Week 6 is Old Man Canned, Invincible, and Mudamat. Week 7 is Statbot, Miss Insomnia, and Ex Machina. Week 8 is Brutal DLX, Yeet, and Turbo Tim. And week 9 is Tromix, Legacy, and Crafty Grinding. That's the set people and the set week. So I'm pretty early up. I can get it over with quick. See what the damage is. Every week they will change what they're going to be, so whatever they do tomorrow will not be the same as what they do later on, which is cool. It keeps it all kind of even keeled, even footing for everybody. Sucks for me because I would like to have the leg up. It is what it is. But yeah, that starts Wednesday in the contest and in 3 weeks for me. So next week, I think I might have told you guys, next week I have to go to Maryland again. So I will try to be streaming on mobile. We'll see how this works. And then the following week is when I go back to... I go to New York to play. So we'll see how it all works out. But that sounds like a good bit to end on. That sounds like a good bit to end on. So let's open some, because I always have to open some crystals at the end. I have to. It's kind of like my thing. We'll bring 5 up. And let's hope that we don't end on the 3-star of doom. I'm hoping for something good. Hoping for something good. Something tasty. Give me something good. Not used to you. Angela. Really? 3-star Angela? It's a terrible start. Terrible start. Like a 6-star. I need a 6-star Sinister to make up for that. Come on, 6-star Sinister, make up for that. No. How about a 3-star Taskmaster? Hopefully we get a Taskmaster redo when he comes out for the Black Widow movie. That'd be sweet. But that's 2 3-stars. Luck dictates 3 3-star. Oh my gosh, these are terrible tonight, guys. He is fine, as is Logan. Alright. These are terrible. Terrible. Oh, that was a Havoc. Man, that's 4 3-stars? So he's actually really good. I like Taskmaster too. His gameplay, it takes a little getting used to, but he actually is a really good character. He's just overshadowed by so many others that's why nobody really looks at him. But I mean, if you have him, use him. That has been a terrible all 3-star opening so far. Really, Sniper? That was 5 3-stars. Like, that's terrible. I'd rather do one of these. I'd rather see myself get a Ronin or something. Something other than a 3-star. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's 1 dupe, dude. That's 1 dupe. You were like 1 dupe away. Yeah, these are I just want a 4-star better. I just can't end on 6 3-stars. I mean, really command. Alright, that's getting there. I can stop there. I can stop there. Terrible opening. Like, that's what I get for talking the entirety of my stream. But, you know what? I enjoyed talking the entirety of my stream. Like, we went over a lot of stuff tonight. And Hey, Droker is on. Let's go raid him a little bit. What do you think? Go raid Droker. I like Droker. He's a good guy. You guys down with that? Go check him out. See what he's up to. Here we go. We're gonna raid. Thanks again, everybody.
Hey, Dro.
Yeah.
You got the touch. You got the power.
What up, Pants Off? What's going on, guys? Welcome. Pants Off, thank you for the host.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the bullshit stream where I'm going to get nothing done, and we're going to get shit carried through dungeons.
Oh yeah, fuck me.
I mean, do you want him like later or now? I'm confused.
Like now.